Good morning, everyone. My name is Shay Kopelman, and I am the Service Product Champion for the Zebra line at ScanSource. I personally just want to thank all of you for joining this webinar today to learn more about Zebra's Managed Visibility Services. If you have questions, please put them in the Q&A section at the top right-hand corner, and we will answer them after the presentation has been completed. Now, we've got a lot of information to cover this morning, but first, I would like to introduce our presenters for today. Donna Beiersdorf has been in the industry working for once Symbol, then Motorola, and now Zebra for 11 years. She is within Zebra's sales organization and supports all of Zebra's North America distributors from a managed service perspective. Then we have Raj Chatterjee, who is the mobility industry veteran with a background in software, application, services, and product management. Raj is currently responsible for the managed service portfolio at Zebra. Lastly, we have Bobby Ramsey, who has spent 23 years at Motorola in both government and enterprise before joining Zebra as part of the MSI acquisition in October of 2016. Since joining Zebra, Bobby has focused on digital experience for Zebra's asset visibility platform and more recently kicked off a project to implement a new global Zebra self-service portal off of zebra.com. Now, time to get started, and I'm going to hand the presentation over to Donna Beiersdorf.
Thank you, Shay, and thank you, and good morning to everybody today. What we are going to take you through, as Shay mentioned, is our Managed Visibility Services. However, before we jump into those, I'd also like to update you on, very quickly, on two new printer services that we have available for you. So we understand that many of you provide printer install services as part of your solutions, and you should continue to do so. However, there are many partners out there who sell the device and don't provide that service to their customer, which also causes a flood of calls into Zebra's support center, specifically those needing help installing and configuring the new printer they've just purchased. So due to this, Zebra has developed this formal approach with the Install and Configure Assist, or ICA service, which is entitled by printer serial number. So this service must be sold up front with the printer. The customer has 60 days in which to call Zebra directly to use the service, and a Zebra support rep remotely takes the customer through a formal process of installing and configuring the specific printer, and then ends the discussion with a validation to ensure it prints. In some recent discussions that I've had with partners, I often hear that the partner already provides this service, and generally for no additional fee. So some have expressed interest in the opportunity to resell Zebra's ICA service, receive some additional margin, while they then redeploy their internal resources to work on other revenue-generating and billable projects. So it's up to you to see if a service such as this fits into your business. The second printer service that we have is our Technical and Software Support Service, or TSS. This provides the ability for customers to contact Zebra directly for tech support and software support to restricted software updates. The regular or full Zebra OneCare support service includes repair service, tech support, and software support. So customers who already have that service don't need to buy a PSS agreement. But for customers who opt not to buy a Zebra OneCare agreement, they'll still need, at a minimum, this TSS agreement to continue to get tech support and software support access to restricted software updates from Zebra. Okay, now jumping into today's topic, the Zebra Managed Visibility Services portfolio. Okay, here we go. I finally got that slide moving. So mobile device management is the ability to secure, monitor, manage, and support mobile devices, typically involving remote distribution of applications, data, and configuration settings for all types of mobile devices. MDM platforms have been around for many years, and while they continue to evolve, there's still a requirement for them to be managed and upgraded. Even adding this level of resource, the MDM platform alone doesn't provide true operational insight, and despite investments into MDM platforms, customers are still struggling to answer three simple questions, such as where are my devices, how many devices do I have, and what application and operating systems are these devices running. But more often than not, many of your customers may struggle to answer these questions, and that's why Zebra has invested significantly in managed visibility services to help provide dashboards that bring all of this valuable information to the forefront. This slide here represents visibility and managed visibility services portfolio that's available from Zebra to date. If you start at the bottom there, the first level of visibility we provide is via our repair dashboards. These dashboards are available via Zebra OneCare support contracts and provide detail regarding repair, support cases, etc. So you can also set the thresholds to get operational alerts for things such as device no-fault bounds. The repair dashboard is included in Zebra OneCare Select agreements and is a purchasable option on top of a Zebra OneCare Essential contract. And then as we move upwards on the slide into the Managed Visibility Services stack, you'll see that we have our Asset Visibility Service and Operational Visibility Services, along with our Custom Premier Service, all built on Zebra's Asset Visibility platform. So don't worry about the verbiage here and take notes. We'll make sure you get a copy of the slide. But I wanted to show how we've evolved so starting at the top here, Zebra has different offers to meet different customer needs. Important to note, though, is that with all of our managed visibility service, they must be layered on top of the Zebra OneCare support agreement. So starting at the top of the pyramid here, Zebra has always offered a Zebra OneCare Premier type service, very custom SLAs, custom screens and dashboards, and even a dedicated help desk. So this is not a skewed-up service, customized generally for customers with 2,500 plus devices. So we understand many of our partners already offer their own version of a managed service. However, some of our partners came to us and asked, if we could provide them with a lower device quantity service that they can access and manage on behalf of their customers. So hence this operational visibility service, or OVS, was developed. Available for 250-plus devices, partners can access the dashboard on behalf of their customers to gain visibility into information such as repair data, location of devices, health of devices, asset visibility, so that the partners can then provide this information back to their customer to help them make more productive decisions. And then there's our low-touch self-onboarding service called Asset Visibility Service, or AVS, and that provides high-level view of device, geolocation, and device metrics without any MDM tool, and it's available for any quantity of Zebra mobile computing devices. So now I'm going to turn you over to Raj Chatterjee, the Senior Product Manager for Zebra's Managed Services. He's going to take you through the details of the AVS and the OVS services.
Thanks, Donna. So as Donna explained, that we have a set of services that are skewed and very easy to implement and deploy and designed to go through channel. And these are Operational Visibility Service, or OVS. OVS Connect is a special version of OVS where we address our customers that have already on-premise MDM tool, and then AVS, our IoT-based asset visibility services. The key question that we always focus on through these visibility services is the customers that are investing in mobility, be it on mobile computers or mobile printers, that their main goal is to achieve a certain ROI. And that can be only achieved if the right amount of processes and technology is in place, and that is always measured with the utilization of those devices and the condition they are to enable those ROIs. Our visibility services, OVS and AVS, are designed to give them that visibility around device identification, how the device is distributed across the operational environment, and that's what we call location, the device utilization, and device condition. With OVS and OVS Connect, we get the data through MDM tool, and then we combine that data with our backend systems and the analytics to provide a very deep level of reporting, and then our partners and our customers look at the report and take the corrective action to drive the better ROI. With AVS, we provide a much simpler view, but it's still powerful. And one of the key things that we introduced in AVS today is predictive analytics. So rather than just looking at the descriptive analytics, which is basically saying what has happened and have associated data to kind of help customer understand what has happened, we are now trying to give indication that what could happen if the course let it run. So basically, we are introducing deep, the learning algorithms with big data architecture to kind of calculate the potential failures or disruptions a device could have. And then based on that, we are now projecting that with very simple color-coded theme that will be very clear when you look at the demo that Bobby is going to do later on. And then not just predictive analytics, but we are also providing some actionable guidance of what the customer or the partner can do at that point to avoid the negative scenarios that could happen. The next one, Donna. So we will talk about the asset visibility service here, and again, there will be much more in-depth demo. There are a couple of key points that we want to highlight. The first one is the simplicity of it. The onboarding is very simple. You attach a SKU, and then most of the processing that happens behind the scene are automated. A customer gets a simple, or customer or partner gets a simple instruction on email. They can self-register themselves, and at that point, the data will start flowing into the dashboard. So that's the number one, simplicity. But also on the UI side, there's a lot of screens or reports to shuffle around. There are high-level visibility of all the devices that are covered by the contract, what their predictive health score if the device is active, and then devices that are out of contact, they are also grouped into few days of out of contract versus over a month of out of contract, and then devices that are in repair is also shown. And again, it will be very clear in the demo. The second piece of key differentiator is the predictive nature of the service. As we talked about, each of the active devices are compared with the data that we collect from the device, and then compare that with millions of other data points that we have in our big data architecture, and then we calculate a predictive score. The simple way to think about it is like compare that with your credit score, right? So if you need to know all the details of your credit report, then you order the credit report, which gives you all the details of all the lines of credit and how you get to that. But many people would not have the technical know-how to analyze to that and basically what it means for us. And most likely you will not have time for reviewing all the details that could come in that level of details reporting, which, by the way, OVS provides. This is much simpler to compare that with a credit score. It's a 780 credit score. It's green, go on with your life kind of thing. But on the other hand, if it is red, then there are some actions that you could take. And that's how you should kind of create that analogy, which is all of us know. The third new capability that we added is a mobile dashboard. So it's available as an application on Android, Google Play Store, and also on iPad on the Apple Store. But also the application can be accessed through a regular web browser, on a mobile device, or on a PC-based device. But the mobile application is a new feature that we added, and more to come when it comes to kind of take advantage of the mobility space. So we are very excited to introduce that mobility screen here. And then the fourth and possibly the most interesting thing about the AVS is although we get a ton of data from the device, in terms of the operation, how the device is functioning, we do not require an MDM tool like SOTI or AirWatch or Wavelink to collect that data. We pre-install a factory install and simple one-way IoT agent for all our Android lines of product, and it had been in the build for some time now. And then we also include that for most of our Windows devices. So if it's a brand new device that is shipping out of factory, you do not have to do anything. But even if it is an older device or a device that for a Windows device that got restaged and new gold images put in, you can very easily install this application. It's a lightweight application that collects the data from the device, send it to our cloud-based server, which is where the magic happens, and we do all the predictive analytics. So those are the 4 big key points that AVS will touch upon today. And then we require a Zebra OneCare either essential or select contract for mobile computers to purchase this solution service. AVS is only available for Zebra devices. We support mobile computers today, and we are bringing in printer later in the year. So next one. All right. So when you order AVS, what do you get, right? So obviously you get the device predictive health. So that's one of the fundamental thing, the fundamental differentiator in the industry. There is we are first of a kind of this kind of service in the industry, and it's presented in a very simple color-coded way. Green means the devices are operating in a normal or peak performance as you expect, or the orange or amber means there is something going on, and we have over about 50% probability of 50 to 75% probability of something bad could happen to this device in the next 30 days. If it is red, then we have over 75% confidence that in next 30 days the device will go through some kind of disruption. And then you can look at the individual serial numbers, and you will see that what is happening, what are the recommended actions, and more importantly, why we are saying it. So think about that if you have your customer has deployed a new SAP application, and it's happening in one of the sites. It's deployed in one of the sites, and suddenly they see that a lot of device from that site is showing amber. And then when you dig deeper, you see that almost always their applications are crashing, or there are high memory usage, or even high data usage. And then if you compare and contrast those set of devices with the other devices that do not have that application update, that will help you maybe guide the customer to the right direction and say maybe there is something wrong in the application, maybe there is a memory leak or whatnot that's causing these high reboots or high data usage or whatever, right? So these are the clues that we provide through our analytics algorithm, which will help a partner to go further in and try and have that dialogue with the customer and provide that value-added service. So that's something that is very powerful, and we hope you will get a full glimpse of that from our demo that's coming up. Next one. So in terms of AVS reporting, as I said, it's a very simple dashboard. So you get the full device inventory, all the devices that are covered under contract, and then we group them into active devices, meaning the devices that are sending us data. And for those, we further classify them in normal, warning, and critical status. And for inactive device that are out of contact for 30 days or less, or over 30 days, device in repair. And if we manage a customer-owned spare pool, then we also manage them through, we show that in spare pool. We provide a snapshot of GPS location to give your customer an indication of where those devices are. If the device is GPS enabled, it's not meant for a tracking by any means, but it's kind of give you a snapshot of where the devices are, almost like a last known location if you think about it. And then for each device, we provide a lot more details of the first time we see it, the last time we see it, and the serial number, and so on and so forth. So again, we'll touch upon those in the demo. In the repair, we provide the history of the device, and then we provide the contract information. Just as a note that the repair information is not yet available for the Latin America region. Next one. So AVS, by and large, it supports most of the mobile computers that we have today. There are specific model numbers here, but if a model number is not in this list, that doesn't mean that it's not supported. We are constantly adding new model numbers. So please contact your sales representative or Zebra about if you have a question. We support the Android, Jelly Bean, KitKat, and Lollipop. We provide support for Windows Mobile and CE up to C5. There are some devices that are embedded C, a very light touch device that does not handle the agent very well, but it's a very broad support, and most of the newer Windows device and all new Android device will have the agent factory installed, so you don't have to worry about deploying the agent. Next one. So now we'll switch gear and go into a little bit higher level service, which we call OVS, or Operational Visibility Service. And this is a service that focuses on the same kind of things, but in a little bit more in depth. It's identification. What do I have? And location in the operational environment of my sites and distribution centers, and so on. The condition of the device and the utilization of the device. But the key difference between this service and AVS is this is a service that utilizes a mobile device management data. For OVS, we bundle a cloud-based SOTI Mobi control, the license, the hosting, the support, all included along with the OVS dashboard and training as a single SKU. And when the customer is looking for a cloud-based MDM solution, you need to ask yourself that why customer would not want OVS, because there's so much more. An MDM tool is being used today primarily to deliver application updates or remote control and remote management. There is a whole lot of additional powerful capability in MDM, and we are using that data in a very, very innovative way and generating over 20 reports that are included in OVS that gives this overall holistic details of what customer operation is about. Like, think about one simple example. A customer may get sporadic device battery events, and it could be the device battery is falling below 30% of the charge, which means that the device is not operating in the optimal condition because it shuts down certain hardware functions. Now, this is a disruption. This causes user frustration, productivity loss, and customer dissatisfaction, extra work, and all kinds of stuff. Now, obviously, with MDM tool, you could collect battery information, but you will not be able to get a full picture of this. And there could be many different reasons for this happening. It could be that the particular model doesn't have a bigger enough battery to support the entire shift, so it's happening only on a certain model. It could be happening only in one site, and then you further go down and see that the devices are starting its day at a 60% charge as opposed to 100% charge, which obviously would lead to this kind of low battery events. And then the third possibility could be that it's happening on the setup devices that are actually having an aging battery and it's not holding the charge long enough. But without getting the full picture, you will not be able to advise customer what to do. In some cases, it's training. Some cases, reevaluate the use cases. Some cases, buying new battery. Now, with OVS, it will be absolutely clear when you look at the overall reporting and slice and dice that OVS allows you to do to find out which of the use scenarios, or maybe a fourth or fifth scenario, that are causing all this. So it's all based on MDM, but it's much more detailed, and with those 20-plus reports, we provide that. And this battery is just one example of it. And again, we will show you some demo. Next one. So as I said, the OVS is SKU-based, up to 20 reports. Repair and support data is included with much more details than AVS. And we support mobile computers, and this is where we are not only supporting Zebra, but non-Zebra products as well, any other ruggedized or even consumer-grade devices like Android, tablets, or iPhone or iPads. We also support Link-OS networked printers. The printer needs to be on an IP network, meaning on Ethernet or Wi-Fi, and we support that. And that's one of the reporting that we are going through an enhancement process, and in next few months we'll come up with additional reports for printer that will be automatically included in OVS for any existing customers as well, and of course new customers. The OVS is designed for our partners to take additional services that they provide, like gold image management, device staging, commissioning, release management, application update, and so on. And it's kind of designed to coexist and help partner provide those high-value managed services and have a better relationship with their customer. Next one. I mentioned about OVS and OVS Connect. So OVS is MDM tool, SOTI, Mobi Control, cloud-based, all included. The platform is fully supported, and you have all the reports. Now, what we have found out that some of our customers are not comfortable or willing to move to a cloud-based MDM tool, although they are quite okay to have a cloud-based visibility tool like OVS. And the reason could be multifold. In some scenarios, the customer may not want their MDM tool, which is a critical infrastructure, on an environment that is not 100% within their control, especially in manufacturing, and that's completely understandable. Healthcare would be another example of that. The other scenarios could be the customer already have invested in an on-premise MDM tool. So within their four walls, they already have all the right infrastructure and right personnel to drive their MDM-related use cases. In that case, they may not want to go into cloud because they have made those investments. And yet, in the third scenario could be that customer is only partially adding OVS services to a set of devices, but then there are other devices that are being managed on an on-premise MDM tool. So they don't want to have a split environment, which is completely understandable. To address these kind of customer need, we created OVS Connect. The idea of OVS Connect is the customer MDM stays where it is on-premise, and we will install a connector script with collaboration with customer IT, and this script will collect the data from the customer's MDM tool and then upload this through a secure network to our cloud-based environment where we provide all the same reports that we provide with OVS, all the 20 reports. So this is a very simple solution from to handle the objections of cloud-based MDM when customers do not want it. They get all the benefits of OVS. The OVS Connect, it does not obviously then include the MDM license. If you're buying MDM license from a partner or buying directly from us, you can do that. If a lot of MSP swap is happening, if you want to take advantage of that to get SOTI or AirWatch license, you could do that and still overlay OVS Connect with those customers. And that is the key difference between OVS and OVS Connect. Next one. So real quick on the OVS Connect is the implementation. So it's an on-site service that we include in the price. So we first engage with collecting some information about the network and the SOTI instance. SOTI is mentioned here. We also support AirWatch, although the amount of reporting we can do AirWatch is somewhat limited by the AirWatch itself. The SOTI will get better reports, but if customer has AirWatch, we can accommodate that. So we provide get all the information, then we engage. We go send an engineer on site to install the script with customer about 3 to 4 days of activity. And then in the run phase, we provide support for the platform and the connector script, obviously, but customer maintains their own SOTI support, and then any of the activities that are around MDM is obviously managed by the customer or the partner directly. Next one. So again, a big list of devices here. Doesn't have to be an exhaustive list, so please don't, if you don't see a device that you are trying to sell, don't assume that it's, sometimes the list get old. We support most of the mobile computers, our mobile computers and third-party mobile computers. We only support Zebra printers. The Zebra printer needs to be Link-OS, and it needs to have a network connectivity over IP network. The Zebra connectivity, if you are familiar with the printer, printer war, there is a special connectivity requirement to connect the printers with SOTI or AirWatch-like tool that will require an additional optional SKU to be purchased. But overall, it's a very simple process, and it's all skewed, and it's a cloud-based solution as well. Okay, next one. So I think that completes the very high-level view of OVS, OVS Connect, and AVS. Now I'll hand over to Bobby, who will go through the details of this demo, and that will clear up a lot of questions. Thank you.
Yep, great, Raj, thank you. If Shay, if you guys will get the ball passed over to me, I'll share my screen and we'll run through some of the live demos. Awesome. All right. Give it a second and you guys should see my screen. So we're actually going to start with AVS, so I'll kind of move along the same path that Raj did. So I want to make sure you guys see all of the information that's available. So you saw the screenshot. I'm actually in a live demo, so we can kind of move around and I can show you all the different components. So consider this your dashboard. This is where you can log in, and at a glance you can see the total number of devices that any of your customers have in their particular estate, or you could combine all of your customers, however you want to choose to do that. You can see of those devices, how many of those are currently active. Some other high-level information, you can see devices that have been out of contact between 1 and 29 days, more than 30 days. You can see the total number of devices that are in repair. And if you've got devices on a Zebra OneCare Select program, we can see the number of devices that are in our spare pool. So it's just a high-level view there. Below, you see all of the detail about each individual serial number. We also have the ability to assign friendly names to those devices as well. We show first seen and last seen dates for each device, the model number, and then the status. And that status is based on what you see above. Probably the most exciting place that I like to go within the demo is the active devices dashboard, because this really starts to get into some of that predictive analytics information that Raj spoke about just a moment ago. So right now you can see I'm looking at my entire active device inventory, so equals up to 100%. I have 3 different statuses that these active devices can show up in, and Raj mentioned these as well. So we have a normal status. Normal is good. That's exactly what we want to see with devices. We also have a warning status, and Raj talked about that, where we predict about 50% confident that something's going to happen within the next 30 days to those particular devices. And you can see in my example here, I've got some service disruptions and an application issue, and we're going to go look at those in just a moment. However, we've also got a critical status, and if you remember critical status, we said 75% or more confidence that something is going to go on with those particular devices within the next 30 days. So now I want to get into some detail. What is it that is going to happen to these devices? So if I scroll down and I look at my individual serial numbers, I can click on those and bring up individual information. So I can see all my device details at the top. If you wanted to, we can put a device image here. But the most important thing here is where we're using this predictive analytics. So we're saying on this device that the action you need to take is you need to lock down this device so only business applications can execute. Okay, Bobby, that's great information, but why are you telling me that? When I click on the suggested action, now I'm telling you why. I'm telling you that the reason that you need to do this is because in the data that we collected, we are seeing a significant number of reboots and high data usage. Great. You go take care of that with this particular device, and we'll get that guy right back into normal status. And we show that with all of the devices that show up in either this critical or warning status. Another area that I like to talk about is this thing called tagging. So I'm going to hop back over to the dashboard. Now, you noticed when I click on certain categories, I get these little black boxes that pop up here, and those are considered system-generated tags. So it's kind of a way of filtering the devices that you're looking at. What we allow you to do as a partner is you guys can go create custom tags. And custom tags could be anything like a location, could be a use case. So if you've got devices for a customer that are considered, on the road vehicles or in the warehouse vehicles or picking up in the warehouse vehicles, in the warehouse devices, or maybe it's a usage like picking and packing, for example. So we let you guys do that. You can create your own tags. You can edit tags that you've already created. You can assign tags, and that means you can assign the tags that you've created to a device or a set of devices. Now, what happens is once you've created all of those devices, now what you can do is you can create your own filtering mechanism. So select the different tags and you can start to filter to see where devices fall into the different statuses. All right? Okay, so that's AVS. Oh, let me talk about the red bar really quick. So the red bar is looking at the different service contracts that your customer has. If I click on View Details, what I can see is each individual contract number and when that particular contract is about to expire. So again, giving you some information so that you can be proactive about your customers and their contracts. Okay? Now I'm going to hop over to OVS, or Operational Visibility. Very different user experience here because we're really, instead of just looking at device health at a glance, now I'm looking into operational insight. Now I want to be able to dig into some more detailed information. And remember, at the OVS level, we have that added data layer coming from the mobile device management tool. So this gives me a lot more information to report on from a device perspective. This is considered your operational dashboard. Probably one of the most important areas on the dashboard here is this total device status at the bottom. So when you have a customer that's invested in a certain quantity of devices, what you and they want to be able to see on any given day is the location and condition of that entire set of devices, and that's exactly what we give you in these tables. Sites, think of those as physical locations where my devices reside, and the status of those devices. And it could be a status where they're actively out in the environment communicating with the MDM tool. Maybe they're out there but not communicating, not necessarily a bad thing, but something that you want to watch. Or they may be in some type of repair status. So maybe they're on their way to the depot, actually in the depot, on their way back, or perhaps sitting in spare pool. The next thing I want to talk about is this area called compelling events. And all of the reports that Raj talked about, those 20-plus reports, each report in OVS is represented by these little squares or widgets. And I like to call these guys smart widgets because what we do with these is we have a key metric that we track for every single report. And on many of those reports, we allow you, the partner, to go set an upper and lower threshold against that key metric. As data is collected on any given day, that little widget is going to change colors based on how the data tracks against your key metric. If you've got a widget that pops up green, perfect, ignore it. That means you're working well within your established threshold. If a tile pops up in sort of an amber yellowish color, that means that you've approached that lower threshold, and then if it turns red, it means you've surpassed the higher threshold. So again, something that you might want to go take a look at. For OVS, we collect data in two major categories: operational data, and think of that as all the data coming from the MDM tool. We also have support data, and support data comes from Zebra internal backend systems, whether it's depot repair or technical support cases. So think of this platform as a consumer of data designed to tell you a story with the data that we've collected. Under operations, I'm just going to show you a couple of report examples. So one of the things I mentioned on the dashboard is out-of-contact devices. Obviously, you don't want a lot of devices out of contact. So when you see that number start to rise, you can come into this out-of-contact devices report, and you can see by site the number of devices that are out of contact, and by model number, and by each individual device, and the last time that device was actually seen. So you can start to drill into some pretty specific information about those devices that are out of contact. This is called our 3-table report. You'll see this report style repeated throughout the portal. However, it tells a different story with every single report. This one happens to be the out of contact. We have reports in several categories. We have devices. That's all about the physical asset and where that asset is. We have a category called utilization. So how are those devices being utilized out in the operational environment? Raj mentioned LinkOS mobile printers. Well, we've got a couple of utilization reports around those. And last but not least, batteries, because we hear all the time customers are having battery issues, so we collect a tremendous amount of information about batteries. I'm gonna pop into one other report. So this one is kind of interesting and probably one of my favorites. It is, again, the 3-table report, but again, telling a very different story. This is all about devices that are not being utilized. And how do we determine that? Well, we'll let you make that decision. So we give you about 10 different categories that you can choose from so that for your customer, you can define what not being utilized means. When you set that and hit apply, then the report then renders based on your selection. In this particular case, we're saying that the devices in the field have a heartbeat, which means they're connected to the MDM tool or they're reporting data, but we're not detecting any type of hourly discharge rate. Well, that probably means that those devices are sitting on a charger somewhere, equals not being utilized. Okay? In lieu of time, I'm going to hop over really quick to, this is our offline demo, and I wanted to show you it real quick because I've got some examples of some of the support reports that we show. We show categories here called queues and resolutions. So think of these as reports where we have activities that are currently open and activities that are currently closed. This is an example of our repair queue report. So any devices that are somewhere within the repair loop. Could be that the devices are due back, which means you or your customer has opened an RMA, but we haven't received the device at the depot yet. Could be those devices are physically in the repair depot being repaired. Could be their devices that I've repaired and I've shipped back to you, or we've shipped out an advanced replacement. Doesn't matter, either way. And this one's kind of cool because we do give you a live link out to the carrier's website so that you can see where that device is in transit. And then last but not least, if you've got spares that we're holding on your customer's behalf, you can see the list of those. Okay, last thing, because I know I'm running out of time. This is our case queue report. This is all about technical support cases. We do track each individual case down to the serial number if it's applicable. We also show you where all of those calls are coming in from. So how many of those calls for technical support are coming in from a particular site? What does this do for you as a partner? This allows you to look at this and go, I got a bunch of people at my site number 1 that seem to be calling in a lot. This could be a training opportunity for me. So just a way to utilize some of the data. And I'm going to pause there. If you guys ever want any other demos or any other views into the portal, you guys please let us know. And I think now I'm going to turn it back over to Ms. Donna Beiersdorf.
Thank you, Bobby. Okay, so it brought me back to slide 1. So let me quickly go ahead to a couple of slides I wanted to just close up with. I hope that the demos that Bobby took you through helps connect the dots a little bit better between the introduction that Raj and I did with words on a slide, right, versus the show and tell that the demo offers to really show you the ability and operational visibility that you now have into the customer's environment to help them be a lot more productive. So now we'll just round it up with a couple of final slides to show you how to sell. I've got a recap here that just provides, again, the differences between AVS and OVS. We'll send the slides out, so you don't need to jot this down. Just very quickly to recap, at a high level, AVS does not require an MDM tool. It can be used for any quantity of Zebra mobile computing devices, and it provides a very high-level visibility, self-service, self-onboarding process. OVS, as Bobby just showed you, drills down into very detailed operational data. It does require an MDM tool, and it leverages Zebra and our partners' services to stand the service up for your customers. So when we look at some part numbers here, I've got a listing here. You'll notice that the AVS SKUs are in 3- and 5-year increments. We sell it in 3- and 5-year increments. It is not sold in a monthly per device, but I have an illustration there on the right-hand side where you can see what the list price would be per device per month for AVS. For ordering AVS, this is important. You would have your customer who bought their AVS-specific device. You would add on a Zebra OneCare service agreement. Then you would add on your AVS SKU, either the 3- or the 5-year, to match your Zebra OneCare support offering. It's important that you find out at your end-user customer who is going to be the AVS admin. So the person at the customer who will be responsible for accessing the site, looking at the data, et cetera. So that email address for that AVS admin must come on the PO that comes up to Zebra. Once Zebra gets the PO, they're going to entitle the contract in the system. They're going to send an email to that person that is entitled, that AVS admin, that's going to give them directions on how to access the portal, how to onboard themselves, and a 4-digit access PIN so that they are now the AVS admin and can be the administrator for anybody else in their organization who needs to have access to that dashboard. As Raj indicated earlier, for OVS, our partners have told us, you know, we do the stuff here that's listed on the right, everything from gold image creation and management, additional MDM settings, the device staging and deployment of the MDM agent. So the partners want to continue to do that piece. So the items on the left-hand side of the slide are what comes with the OVS SKU from Zebra. The services on the right are what our partners do, and you can see together we can help stand the service up for our customers. I have some SKUs here that list the OVS part numbers. Don't forget, OVS is the one that comes with the SOTI MDM tool. We list it here at list price, and you can see it's tiered by quantity of devices. So on the top row there, for customers who have a quantity of 250 to 499 devices, that would be the SKU and the list price. And then we have on the right-hand side the 5-year terms there. For OVS Connect, you'll see it is also, just like OVS, and it's tiered by quantity listing. And you'll see that the SKU list price is less for the OVS Connect because it does not include an MDM, because we are connecting into the customer's MDM solution. I'll also just bring to your attention at the bottom there, Raj had mentioned that there's a process by which we are working with you and the end-user customer to get information on their MDM tool and their IT environment so that we can use our connector software to connect into their MDM. So there is, on top of the OVS Connect SKU, there is a one-time setup fee and SKU that goes along with that so that we can make sure we're connecting properly into the customer's environment to be able to obtain the data that can be posted on the dashboard. And again, we have tons of collateral that's available to help you understand the services, from very detailed service description documents, which outline very specifically what each service provides, to FAQs, data sheets, cheat sheets, PowerPoints, on-demand videos. So you can access all of them from ScanSource's microsite, as well as Zebra's partner gateway. And with that, if you need to learn more about the features of the services, you can contact your Zebra sales representative at ScanSource or your ScanSource product manager, Shay Kopelman. So that wraps up the formal part of the presentation. And now, Shay, I believe we're going to take some questions that have come in online.
That is correct. Thank you so much, Donna, Raj, and Bobby. You guys really did a great job. I think the content was perfect, and the demo really made it come to fruition and just very clear. So I really appreciate all that you did for the partners out there in the community. So I just want to remind everybody, if you have any questions, please put it in the Q&A box, and we will go through these. We do have a few. So the first question that we've got is there a minimum device quantity for AVS or OVS?
So, Shay, I'll take that one. For OVS, yes, there is a 250 minimum device quantity. As Raj mentioned, the OVS service is for Zebra mobile computing devices, LinkOS networked printers, and some third-party mobile devices as well. So it could be a mixture of all of those types of devices to make up the 250 minimum quantity. For AVS, there is no minimum. It can scale from small amount of devices to large amount of devices.
Great, thank you. Our next question, what devices is AVS and OVS available for?
Okay, so I'll just recap again. Earlier we had covered that. So AVS available for Zebra mobile computing devices today. Later this year, it will be available for LinkOS printers from Zebra. The OVS today is available for Zebra mobile computing devices, LinkOS network printers, and third-party mobile devices.
Great, thank you. We do have one last question. Can you please explain the difference between OVS and OVS Connect?
Absolutely. I understand there's a lot of information that we brought to you today, so it could be a little bit confusing. So the OVS solution includes an MDM, which is SODI Mobi Control. The OVS Connect is where the customer already has an MDM tool on premise, and they want the features of OVS and the dashboard visibility, and we connect into their MDM so we can capture the information and be able to display it on our dashboard.
Great. Thank you so much, Donna, for going through some of these questions. So this will conclude our webinar. I just want to thank everyone again for joining us today. I really hope that the information that we shared on Zebra Managed Visibility Services is going to be useful for you and your business. So I just want to remind each of you that you will be receiving a copy of this presentation, as well as an infographic that ScanSource has put together for you to break down the differences between OVS and AVS and how they will benefit your business. You should expect to receive that within the next 48 hours. And if you have any more questions, please reach out to your ScanSource sales rep or myself. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a great day.